age of consent?
I don't think there is. If the kid is in control of the vehicle, or in control of the package, or in control of the backpack, if they're old enough to be in control, they're old enough to consent to a search.
Suppose you got 15-year-olds sitting in a car, cop comes up, parents are not there, I want to search the car because I smell pot in here, and the 15-year-olds maybe have been, or maybe they haven't been.
I think in Montana, the state law, if I'm not mistaken, is that if you're under 16 and you're being questioned, see, I'd argue at that point in time that it's the same.
This is what we do.
Yeah, this is what we do. See, we disagree. I'd argue that that their parents have to be.
Yeah, but that law says that parents have to give the okay before their kid is questioned.
Right, and I'd say this
and
is
consent is not giving question.
I argue that they're under arrest. They can't leave. I'd argue that.
And I would add also that on the previous question of coercion, I disagree with Craig about how simple it is. I think it's very complex. In order to show coercion, the defendant has to show that his will has been overborne. And I don't know, and the cases clearly hold that one of the factors the court should consider is whether or not an officer said, we're going to go get a warrant. But it's not dispositive. It doesn't answer the question. I mean, you can't walk away from here thinking, well, if the cop says I'm going to go get a warrant, then the consent's invalid anyway, because it might not be.
Yeah, I agree with Josh. I'm not trying to make this thing that doesn't sound simple. It's not simple at all. It's a very complicated argument, and it takes a lot of work, and you're probably going to lose that argument. But it's an argument to make. But I didn't mean to make it sound simple. It's not at all. But I have won those cases, so it's not time to just roll over and play dead. That's my point. Okay.
Well, you can drive 15 in Montana.
Well, last year the court decided a case where she was 14 or 15. She gave consent to the police to search the parents' home, and the court threw that out. It's a Montana case, so that's not a federal law, and certainly federal situation. Kids can give consent, and it was of a home where the parents weren't there. We haven't seen that case applied to a car. But the rule is in Montana that if you're under 16, you cannot consent to the search of your parents' home. The reasoning was along the lines of what Craig was talking about, which is there's a statute that says to interrogate if the police are going to interrogate a juvenile, and if they're under 16, they have to get parental consent, or they have to at least advise the parents and the kid of the right to remain silent, right not to have an attorney present. And they said that the legislature had an express policy that for someone under 16, they needed greater protections. And they just drew a bright line there. Now again, we haven't seen it applied to a car, but it'd be an interesting case.
So we're going to cut it off there. We're already 20 minutes over time, but I think that last question can show just how hard these questions are and why it's so important that we have a diverse panel here, and as well as a variety of people out there actually arguing this to court. So.
Get a good lawyer.
If only we could all afford you. I want to thank all the panelists, and let's give them a round of applause for coming.
I want to thank Brent for setting this up.
I also want to thank all of you who came, and especially all of you who stayed. Please check out all the material that's outside on your way out. There's tons of great resources out there. So, thank you.
And at the atrium you see at Friday at noon, there's a peace rally, and at 1 o'clock on Saturday at the courthouse, there's a peace rally.
Thanks, Mr.